Agile Project Lifecycle. Name Aishwarya Shinde. Subject Software Project Management. Division A. SRN number 312405553. Let's start with today's topic. Introduction to Agile. Agile is a project management methodology emphasizing flexibility, collaboration, and customer satisfaction. It breaks down projects into small, manageable increments. Agile promotes adaptive planning and continuous improvement. Originally developed for software development but now widely used across industries. Basically, Agile is a project management method which cuts down the project into small parts where people can actually work on that project in a very efficient and manageable way, so that there has not been a burden to a particular team, so there will not be a burden to a particular team of a lot of work. So for the proper management and the smoothness of the company, the project has to be divided into different parts and small pieces. So the planning and the improvement is consistency. Why is actually Agile preferred? Responds better to changing requirements. The customer's needs or the user requirements are consistently changing based on their various factors. So the Agile actually helps in making the requirements better, and it responds better in changing the requirements. Involves stakeholders through the process. The stakeholders are actually included in the process of the project, which makes them aware of the project and doesn't keep them in the loop. Delivers values early and often. Since the project has been cut down into smaller pieces, the value is often early delivered. It is easier to maintain as well. Reduce risk by using iterative cycle. The risk is reduced by actually making the iterative cycle where the big projects are managed. The cycle has to be repeated from first process to the last process. Here, when the requirement is there, you can take a small part of it and actually change that requirement in that process, in that section, and just go through with it. There is no hassle. Encourage collaboration and transparency. There is a lot of transparency while making this project, since the stakeholders are also included in it. Agile project life cycle overview. The Agile life cycle is divided into 5 main phases: concept, inception, iteration, and execution, release, maintenance, and retirement. These phases are iterative and offer overlap. Phase 1: concept or initiation. Identifies the business need or problem. It actually identifies what the business need or the user needs, or the kind of a problem the business is facing. Determines feasibility and high level scope. It has a lot of scope since it is very flexible. Stakeholders define objective and constraints. And as always, since the stakeholders are put and informed properly, the stakeholders tells the software developers to actually the needs and the problems of their projects. Key outcomes: business case, project charter, initial budget, and timeline estimation. Since in this concept or initiation, the business is actually known what kind of a problem is to be solved, what kind of a project has to be handled, and there has been a timeline given and the budget given. So there is a lot of clarification. Phase 2: inception, planning. Assembling the agile team. Scrum Master, product owner, developers, initial planning, creating a product vision and roadmap, establishing initial blockage items, epic and user stories, high level architectural consideration and resource planning, setup tools and environment. Agile roles in a project. Product owner represents stakeholders, manages the backlog. When the product owner actually helps in making the representation to the stakeholders and telling them the backlog and the process of the project. Scrum Masters facilitates agile process, removes obstacle. The Scrum Master is actually there to facilitate the process of the projects, and if there are any kind of a problems or obstacles, it removes them. Development team, cross functional group that delivers the product increment. This is the team where the product is actually developed. Collaborative communication is the key. When these teams are actually in communication with each other, they actually have a very collaborative access to each other, and since there is a proper collaboration, there is a success of project. Phase 3, iteration, increment, execution. Core phase of agile development, divided into short sprints, 1 to 4 weeks. Each sprint includes sprint planning, daily stand up meetings, development and testing, sprint review, and retrospective. Emphasis on delivering a working product at the end of each sprint. Agile artifacts, product backlog, master list of desired features, sprint backlog, task to complete during a sprint, burn chart, visual progress tracking, increment, the usable output of a sprint. Phase 4, release. After multiple sprints, the product is ready for development, deployment, activities, final testing, user training, deployment to production environment, collection user feedback. Goal is to deliver working software that provides real business value. So basically in phase 4 there are multiple sprints where the projects are divided and they are actually ready for deployment. The activities which actually are carried out to release the actual project of software or any kind of a software are: there is a final testing of the project, user training is there has to be a deployment to production environment, and there has to be a collective user feedback for the project to actually run very smoothly and nicely. Phase 5, maintenance and retirement. Post deployment phase focus on bug fixes, minor updates, user support. Retirement occurs when the product is no longer needed or replaced. So basically maintenance and retirement are two final stages of the agile, where when the project is actually delivered after the deployment, the focus has to be on quick bug fixes, minor updates, user support, where the software developer actually have to do all the bug fixes and all the updates or necessary changes in the project, and there has to be user support. If the user actually asks you what is what is the problem that is occurring in their project, you should be able to make them understand it. I hope you actually like this. Have a good day.